So, what about someone that's more mid-career? Perhaps it's a former coworker that you worked on a team with 10 years ago, earlier on in your career, and you bump into someone like that at a conference, and they ask how are things been going, Priyanka, and you tell them about your what you're currently doing. They talk about what they're currently doing, and then over the course of coffee or lunch, it comes out that they're kind of burned out, they're really stressed out, and they're trying to figure out what the next chapter of their career would be. They know they want to stay in something related to infrastructure or data center or cloud, but they really don't know what direction to go in. What kind of advice would you offer to a former coworker that used to be pretty good friends with when you worked together years ago?
So, Joshua, I would say that, they need to leverage their deep understanding. So, while embracing the new high growth areas like AI, edge computing, and sustainability, so their experience is invaluable, I would say, because with the change, like the way the industries are shifting rapidly, staying relevant becomes very, very important. But continuously in evolving their skill set is very important. But their experience is and their in-depth understanding of the industry foundational system is very, very important. Now, if because they have I would say, I would, if I get when I advise my colleagues or people in the industry, I would say that your experience is important, but what you can do now is how you can marry your experience with the new technology together to take it to the new level. And that is what is missing, that is what we need in this industry. So what is happening is we are forgetting what is there, and then we are trying to adapt to the new thing. But no, we need to marry both the thing, because that foundation is very important. So their expertise in legacy system, networking, data center architecture is the bridge that can help them, understand and adapt emerging technologies like, hybrid cloud environment, serverless computing, edge computing, etc. So that is what is, I usually advise. Second is that, never stop learning. So every, like I said, giving my example, every day is a learning day for me. So y- you may have decades of experience, but staying relevant is, and moving with the trend is very, very important. So consider certification of high growth areas like multi-cloud architecture, cybersecurity for the cloud environment, AI-driven data center management, cloud native application development. So get certification from various industries, various partners, and keep yourself relevant for the future. Um, they can also with the level of experience that they have, they can also pivot into their strategic leadership roles, which is very important now. Because the industry, the companies are not only looking for people who can operationally help them, who can do the transformation, but is looking for individuals who can not only manage the day-to-day operation, but align cloud and data center strategies with their business objective. So which is very important. And I see, when I am talking to my clients, I see that um, they are looking for experts who can help them, they understand their business objective, and tell them that this is being your objective, this is what you should do with your data center, this is what you need to, this cloud is what you need to go there, this is how you need to move to the cloud, this is when you should move to the cloud. That kind of strategic leadership is what they're looking for. And people with experience, sh- who are able to understand both the world, the traditional and the new world, are the right people to give that strategic leadership, if you are able to upgrade yourself into that level. So I have seen in the organizations, enterprises are looking for chief cloud officers. These are the new roles that are opening up. Then cloud strategy director, digital transformation lead. So these are all the opportunities that are there with the organization and the people who wants to change their role. um, Another thing I can say is emerging trends like AI driven automation, edge computing, sustainability initiatives are transforming the way we think about cloud infrastructure and data center management. So, for instance, AI driven data centers are making significant waves. So, embracing the AI, professionals, a senior professional can focus on optimizing everything from energy consumption to predictive maintenance that we need to do in the data center. Similarly, edge computing is gaining ground as businesses seek to process data closer to its source. So, upcoming avenues of data center architecture. So, people who are in data center architecture, they can look into edge computing, gain experience in edge computing, gain certification in edge computing, and take their career to that level. Then we have sustainability, which is a huge ask in the in the market today. So there's a huge pressure also in to the with the enterprises to reduce their carbon footprint. So becoming an advocate for sustainability practices within a data center, um, they can align their career with a future facing priority that resonates with both business and society. And definitely the consultancy and advisory role is always there, with all the knowledge that you have of the tradition and the new knowledge that you gain, you can definitely become a consultant or and do advisory work, Joshua.